the online tutoring has been working for your children, and how would you describe that?
I would say just like anything, I think online has been a learning curve for everybody, including myself. I'm from an industry that has traditionally always been face-to-face in boardrooms, and we've had to learn how to go from meeting in boardrooms to meeting online, Teams or Zoom. And at first, like the learning curve was a little, steep. It's unnerving, but I see so many advantages now that I can see this being the new normal. And some of the things that I struggled with, I don't think the kids struggled with at all. I think they just jumped right into it, and they're more resilient than we are.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. So Sam, since you mentioned some of the advantages of online tutoring or online meetings in general, what are some of the most obvious ones for tutoring and in general as well? You can answer both.
Well, some of the hiccups were predictable. Like, I mean, I think all of us had to get a better grasp of what equipment we needed, what internet services we needed, what space in the home we needed, what establish some rules that didn't exist a year ago. Like at home we have meeting in progress signs, and now up at my door I have meeting in progress whenever I'm in a Teams or a Zoom meeting. We have to do the same thing at home, right? We have to distinguish that these areas, and when the doors close and there's a sign up, either the kids are online or with the tutor, or one of the parents is doing something in a meeting online, right? And these are things that didn't exist a year ago.
That's very true. So Sam, your kids are very small, and my question would be, how do you guys monitor their learning progress in general?
Well, we've always been very interactive with our kids. My wife's a teacher, so that's a great benefit to her being able to assess progress even better than myself. But listen, it comes down to parenting. Simple questions tell you, and the answers you get back tell you a lot about their thought patterns, what they've learned, what they've absorbed. They're like sponges, right? So we're always checking in right after the tutor session. What did you guys talk about? What did you learn? And you know what? We pop in intermittently and just sort of listen in here and there just to see if there's any problems with their focus, their attention, even problems with technical problems. So we're involved, but we made a conscious decision to let them sort of lead themselves in the process. Even when there's some glitches, let them struggle and see if they can figure out how to resolve it, get back online and all that sort of stuff. Because like I said, if we're going to try and mimic the real world, this is a perfect way to do that.
Absolutely. No, I agree. Actually, that's one of my questions to you is going to be, how do you make sure that they get more independent? And you already answered that. So thank you.
No problem.
So for parents, Sam, for parents that are skeptical about online tutoring and they still want this in-home tutoring model, they still want tutors to come to their home, what would you say to them? What would your message to them be in terms of the online tutoring and whether they should actually think about switching or not switching at all?
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. There's a benefit. I can make benefits, pros and cons to both. And I myself was very skeptical at first that this wasn't going to work. The kids weren't going to have the attention span. You weren't going to be able to engage them with eye contact. But I don't see that being the case. We're very lucky that we have a really brilliant young man tutoring the kids. And he's done a fantastic job. And he connects well with the kids when it comes to this online and the technical aspect and the new modern way of doing things, very different than the way I grew up. So there's been zero, how can I say, there's been zero negativity. They've excelled, and I see it in their marks, and I see it in the way they're excited to get online with our tutor, and they're there on time, and we hardly ever have to get involved and help them solve an issue online. And if there is, it's a matter of minutes and they're back online learning. And we ask the kids, how do you guys find it? And they love it.
That's wonderful, Sam. So Sam, how do you make sure they also get the in-person interaction with the outside world? Do you let them meet, your friends or your relatives, or because of the
Well,
lockdown, say, yeah.
we've always been very, very social people. My wife and I, our families are very social, and my kids, thank God, they've never really had a problem with interactions, or they never had a problem being shy. So they they still do go to school during the day. They're not completely online, so they get more than enough interactions with people. Um, but I'm very, very glad that they had an opportunity to see what the online world is, because who knows where their careers take them. They might be working in a remote part of Canada where they're completely online one day, right? And they've learned that skill and that ability at a young age, and they're already more confident with it than I am. So
Absolutely. Sam, my last question is, what are some things that the kids like about our tutor?
I think they've made a real connection with your tutor. Um, One thing that we talked about doing, and we have, was the enrichment learning. Once a week, we added an hour a week, and it's not formal. We let the kids bring forward anything of interest that they want to discuss, they want to talk about. And your tutor formalizes that by giving them a little bit of a push towards, okay, research that and come back to me with some facts. And they're excited about that Thursday night session because it allows them to explore not just, you know, arithmetic, geometry, and all the formal teaching, but stuff that they're interested in. And I honestly believe that if you have kids that are interested in education, you have a desire for education the rest of your life. And that's one thing that we're trying to do with the enrichment learning on Thursdays.
That's wonderful.